This is Lacey Rice from KySports.TV talking to head coach Mike McCoy from Eastern High School of Louisville. How you doing today, Coach McCoy?
I'm good. Weather's good. Kids are running well. You know, I'm healthy. They're healthy.
Okay.
Little things.
Well, you are a Hall of Fame coach. You've been around for quite a while, and you've won quite a few track and field championships in the state of Kentucky. So we know that you've had quite a few great runners because you didn't just win all your state championships at one school. You won them at a few schools.
But I attribute that to a Hall of Fame coach that I had when I was in high school, John Uxton at Eastern High School. We ran double workouts. He took us to different states and so forth, ran the heck out of us, did workouts that were unbelievable that kids can't do today. And, you know, I use what I can of that, what the kids can take of that, you know, and get the same, pretty much the same results, you know. But I contribute that to the coaches that I had in my life. You know, we had great field events coaches at Eastern. We had high jumpers jumping 6'11" and 5'8" when I was in school, and 23-6 long jumpers, and 169 discus throwers, and of course we ran the 100 yards back then, and we had like 4 guys under 10, you know, 3 guys under 23 in the 200, 4 guys under 50 in the 400. It was just good. We loved it, and we ran track. You know, we was track. Eastern used to be track, and that's where I developed the skill of coaching. You know. So.
Okay. Well, can you tell us a bit about your coaching journey? You said you not only won at Eastern, but you won elsewhere.
Well, yeah, the coach I'm talking about at Eastern, actually, he titled me head coach, even though he was actually still the head coach, and he trained me well. And from there, you know, I did the coaching at Eastern. Then I went to Fort Knox, went down to Western as a grad assistant with the football team, and caught a job at Fort Knox, and actually ran into a group of kids that were pretty much already molded. They had skills, they were good athletes, just needed a little tweaking on the coaching. Not that they hadn't been coached, but I think I turned it up a notch. We ended up getting a rubberized track, and it was pretty much easier to coach at Fort Knox because you had the kids on post. You didn't have to go get them, you didn't have to ask where they were when they were out of school because you knew where they were and so forth. And it was easy. We had athletes. I don't take all the credit. You know, of course I had Coach Dave Schufeld, who was good in the field events, pole vault coach, etc. But I just think we were blessed with some kids, and I did have some skill, but with the kids that were there, they were molded, the bodies were there, temperament was there, the parents let you coach them, the competitive attitude was there. I just tweaked it. I don't want to take all the credit for it, but they fell into the mold, and it worked out well. You know, I think we won the state maybe 4 or 5 times, boys, girls. The girls were just as good as the guys, and it was a lot of fun. You know, just a lot of fun. You know, and it was fun. The kids were good, the parents were good, and it was easy. We had support. We had, you know, we didn't cry for money. We didn't cry for uniforms, and we had the best track in the world. You know, so it was easy. You know, wasn't on me, you know.
Okay. And you went from Fort Knox.
I went to Fort Knox. Actually, what did I do? I came back to Louisville and ended up coaching. I went to Male for 4 years. I got a lot of years in there. So I coached at Male for about 4 or 5 years. Coached football out there with Redmond and Bush and those kids. And again, track was pretty easy. You know, the kids' attitude was there. The school was established. They're about track. You know, so again, you know, I just rode with the punches, you know, and enjoyed every bit of it. You know, now I guess from there, ended up having a few back surgeries, got out of coaching, you know, then got back into coaching track at Eastern, and got back into football, I guess, and enjoyed myself. So, I'm having a good time. You know.
Okay.
This year's really going to be fun, you know.
Okay. Well, I hear a recurring theme in all this, and that theme is it seems that you have a lot of fun coaching. that you really like coaching these kids?
You know, I used to look at the coach that was coaching me, and the workouts were hard, and we were dizzy and seeing stars. But when we got in the meets, it was so easy to compete and win and be at the top that, you know, I saw what the results could accomplish, and I enjoy putting it on kids. I enjoy getting the kids in a zone that they've never been in, doing things they think they can't do and pushing them to the limits. Really, and I don't mind seeing a kid breathing hard, you know, saying I'm hurt, my legs are tight, you know, I baby them, I'm with that, but, you know, I can get them through that, you know. So, yeah, I do have fun, you know, it is fun. And somebody did it for me, and I flash back, and I'm like, man, I know they wasn't making much money, why they do that, you know. And here I am kind of doing the same thing, and the reason I do it is somebody did it for me, you know, so I'm just giving back what I have to offer, you know. And there's a lot of coaches that have what I have, you know. It's just I enjoy what I do, you know.
Okay. As far as your disciples, have many of your former athletes gone on to coach?
Well, James Webb is one of them. It's amazing. He played football at Fort Knox. Did James run track? I don't know if he did.
He didn't run track.
I know he didn't run track, you know, but his kid started coaching track. He beat me, and I haven't beaten him since. He's been beating me ever since he started. I don't know what he's got, but everyone says that he's a baby me, you know. So he took a part of me and turned it into him and what he knows, and he's a great coach, and he's doing a wonderful job. And he's the one that comes to mind the most, because when I look at him, I do see me when I was younger. Looks just like me. He was nasty, kind of like me, but not nasty. You know, really a great person. But you know, he's got my demeanor, you know, and my style, and he does remind me. I see my life through him, so I enjoy actually watching him coach, and unfortunately watching him win. You know. Okay.
And we know also you have some on the collegiate level, like Coach Eskridge, George Eskridge, down at assistant coach at Campbellsville University.
And Coach Eskridge was he was a different kind of coach. He was quieter, milder, more meticulous. You know, he did the little things and used strategies and used his mindset more. And he was more of a technician, you know, than a condition guy. But he's more of an artist in coaching, I think. You know, and I think that's his forte. And yeah, I enjoy watching George. He coached football with me, and he ran track down at Knox and long jump and so forth. And he's got multiple skills. He's pretty much a football coach, a track coach, a trainer. Whatever you need, he's got it. So I guess, yeah, he is there, you know.
Okay. And as far as like your current coaching staff at Eastern, you know, Eastern has been successful, as we said, you know, over the years and whatnot, and is still a factor in the state. Who are some of the guys that kind of help you out now?
Well, my brother, who didn't run track, but he's turned into a trainer, a personal trainer, and a field events coach, and he's kind of like George, I think. You know, he wasn't that super athlete, wasn't super fast, you know, but he's mastered the skill of technique, and he does a wonderful job for me, you know. So.
Okay. All right. Well, Coach, we really enjoyed this time talking to you, and we definitely wish you and your teams all the best.
And then Mike Horan, you know, I coached him also at Eastern. He's the labeled the female head coach, but we kind of cross coach. I do the sprints, he does distance. I do sprints, boys and girls, so we go that way. But I coached him. He was a hard-working kid, didn't have a lot of speed, but he worked so hard that he ended up being really, really good. And I think he's using that skill now to push his kids. and he's been a joy to work with. He's more organized, more structured. He brings some things I don't bring, but we make a great team.
Okay. Oh, well, and before, actually, and I would be remiss if I ended the interview right now. Your school actually hosts probably the most prestigious track and field classic or track and field invitational in Kentucky, probably one of the tops in the country. Can you tell us a bit about the Eastern Invitational?
Well,
Eastern
one person
Relays,
I didn't mention Coach Holman. He's at Male. He's the other great figure in my life. He worked with a guy, Coach Thompson, who was a great coach. You had Coach Newton, Coach Chico. We've been seeing each other for years. Coach and I started the Eastern Relays at Eastern. It was becoming a huge meet. We got up to 40, 50 teams, boys and girls. And one year, for some reason, the dance team took the spot of the Eastern Relays and wiped it out for that year. It was a sad situation, but it was out for 2 or 3 years. Then Mike brought it back, took it to U of L, and then we bring in talent from all over the country, regions, get close to national records, national times, and it's a huge meet, the Eastern Relays, and proud to be part of it.
Is there anyone, before we end this interview, is there anyone that you would like to thank in particular?
No. My mom, my coaches, the athletes that take my, sometimes, they take my mouth, my push, my yell, my growl, but I'd like to thank anybody that have part of that. It's whether it be the athletic director, coaches from other schools, 'cause we trade knowledge, so it's I could go endlessly with thanking coaches and mirroring other coaches. Coach Thompson is probably Coach Thompson and Coach Holman, Coach Newton are probably the biggest figures that I remember in my life, being really, really super coaches and trying to model after those guys.
All right. Well, once again, Coach, we do want to thank you very much for taking this time out to talk to us today. And we definitely wish you and your team the best this season. And we'll be tracking you, see how things work out.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. My pleasure.